Hi everyone, Meteorologist Emery here in the Fox 19 First Alert Streaming Center for our Saturday edition of 19atSIX, our weekend weather show live wherever you stream, including on Facebook, both the Fox 19 Facebook page as well as my Facebook page at EmeryWX. We should be live there. I'm checking now to see if I'm still there. Yes, I am live on my Facebook page too, but we're also live on the Fox 19 Facebook page, the Fox 19 News and First Alert Weather app. We're live on the 24/7 weather streaming channel. We're live on YouTube and on fox19.com. So again, hi everyone, Meteorologist Emery here, and we've got a First Alert Weather Day for Sunday due to disruptive rain. It's nothing severe. We're not looking at anything that is going to be of major issue or concern. It's just going to be heavy rain. Could be looking at some ponding roadways, especially Sunday morning, as well as some breezy gusts, especially during the midday and early afternoon. Could create some issues between folks heading off to church. Maybe you're heading to the Pete Rose Memorial on Sunday. You want to have the rain gear regardless of what time of day you're going to be out. So I do want to give you that forecast first. We're just going to jump right into tonight's forecast, and then we'll show you the tomorrow's forecast and the 7-day. Take a pause, and then we'll go ahead and proceed with the 19atSIX weather show. So overnight tonight, we got temperatures falling down to around 58 degrees. So it is going to be a warm night, overnight low of 58. And then we head into tomorrow, not sunny like the background says, 65, rainy, cloudy day. It's going to be one of those November days that if you're from this area, you're all too familiar with around November. But we go into the work week. We start off with Veterans Day, a high of 62 with some sunshine. Tuesday, I am going to drop that temperature down into the 50s. It does look cooler now for Tuesday. Keep in mind, we are going to drop temperatures down on Tuesday to the 50s, mid to upper 50s for Tuesday. We go into your Wednesday, an evening chance of showers, which will linger into early Thursday morning. We're looking at highs on Wednesday pretty warm into those mid 60s. Thursday 57, and then we're looking dry for the first half of next weekend with highs in the upper 50s on Friday and the low 60s on Saturday under partly cloudy skies. And again, we'll dive into the details of the First Alert Weather Day being for Sunday coming up here in just a moment. So that is your 7-day forecast, giving you that first forecast now. That way, if you got any evening plans, maybe you're middle of watching FC Cincinnati, or maybe you're waiting outside at TQL with some friends or family, you can get back to doing that if you need to. So that is, oh wow. So I just got a notification from FC Cincinnati. Penalty shootouts are beginning. It's tied at 0, if you're curious. So we're going to take a look at some of the weather cameras real quick. We'll first take a look at our Queensgate rooftop camera, which should be aimed towards TQL. We'll see if it got moved or not. Nope, it is still at TQL. You can see it's cloudy, and you can also see that it is dry. We are looking at dry conditions for the time being, but we will look at some rain moving in late tonight. So that's TQL from our Queensgate rooftop camera looking towards the west end. We also have our Newport Levee camera, beautiful shot there looking towards downtown Cincinnati. And we are also looking at our Fox 19 tower camera, where temperatures are currently at 57 degrees. Take a look at our Turfway Park camera. Again, overcast conditions. And then looking at our Mount Auburn camera, which should load here in just a moment. It is dark outside, but not quite that dark. Once it loads, there you go. You can see things are mostly cloudy. We'll take a look at radar real quick. That way you can see where there are some areas of showers. And there were some reflectivity returns down in Owen County. Some of that could have been just some thicker clouds, but there could be a few sprinkles. Can't rule that out for folks over towards, well, right now even towards Maysville. So we'll go ahead and zoom in on that real quick. And yeah, I believe some of this might be just a few sprinkles, but much of that could be just some thicker clouds. So what we'll do now is switch the radar. Yeah, so as I suspected, that's probably just some thicker clouds at this point. We will look over towards Owen County, because this was an area that and Carroll County, an area that I did want to observe just to confirm that it is thicker clouds. Yeah, there might be a few sprinkles just to the south of Owen County, but this is going to be the beginning of that rain. It's going to really develop late tonight into our Sunday morning. So here's a look at radar and satellite, kind of in a loop. And again, a lot of this is just thicker clouds. Sometimes the radar beam, the higher out, the further out it goes, the higher elevation that beam goes. And so sometimes it thinks there's rain, but in reality it's just thicker clouds because obviously clouds have a lot of moisture in them. But we will go ahead and widen this out to see where we do have more activity. And there it is. So all of this right here is moving in our direction. So mind you, it is running into some dry air initially, but we're going to eventually overcome that where we will be seeing more onsets of rain showers, especially late tonight. I think after midnight at this point do we see the best potential for those widespread downpours that has been in the forecast for some time. All a part of this strong low pressure system bringing with it, well, near blizzard conditions for folks over towards Colorado and New Mexico. A lot of snow for those folks over the last couple of days. But we are looking at this area of low pressure system moving up to the north and east. And as it does that, we've got that flow of Gulf moist air traveling from the Gulf of Mexico near Louisiana all the way up towards the Ohio Valley. Now, if you're curious, no, nothing to do with the tropics in regards to Raphael. I just want to put that out there in case if anyone has heard or said anything about it. But Hurricane Raphael, which is now Tropical Storm Raphael, which the banner has been updated, so it kind of moved off screen. But this is Raphael. It's going to move off to the south towards the Mexican coast, and it is weakening significantly. So nothing to do with us here in the tri-state. But we are going to be looking at Gulf moist air, not associated from Raphael, going into tomorrow. So let me go pull up a forecast model real quick. And this model is going to show us that rain arriving especially late. So once it loads, you'll be able to see that here. And this is going to bring us, again, the potential for some moderate rain, especially after midnight. So put that up full screen for you. You can see a lot of that dark green, yellow, orange, red. And so for Sunday morning, if you are traveling just before sunrise, it will be wet. No doubt about it. And it's going to continue through the mid-morning hour. And then in the afternoon, we got some lingering shower activity. And the majority of the widespread rain at this point going into 2, 3 o'clock will be for areas east of I-71. Areas west of I-71 will still have some rain showers. It'll be a little more on the isolated scale compared to our folks over to our east. And we will go ahead and play this out a little bit more further in time. So we go into, again, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Here's by 5 o'clock. Still got some rain over to the eastern half of the Fox 19 Now viewing area. Again, east of I-71. Still looking at some widespread rain through the early afternoon. Just before sunset, it does become a bit more isolated, whereas our western counties, so areas west of I-71, do look drier for Sunday late afternoon. So you will still have a chance of rain, though it does decrease significantly after 2 o'clock for folks in, say, Connorsville, Batesville, Lawrenceburg, Hamilton. But keep in mind that the grounds will be wet. That includes fields, and includes yards, and includes roads even. Though the winds might dry out some of those roadways because it will be breezy tomorrow. We are talking about wind gusts on Sunday being as high as around 25 to 30 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and pull that up here. And in just a moment, you'll be able to see those breezy gusts picking up Sunday mid-morning and afternoon. So here's Sunday at 11 a.m. We could be looking at gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. And then about 1, 2 o'clock, we could be close to 30 miles per hour. And we go into the afternoon hours. The winds will be still a little breezy out there. Nothing that's going to be problematic in the sense of any kind of decoration issues or anything like that. It's just going to be more of a nuisance breeze at that. And the benefit of it, I think it will dry out some of those roadways a little bit sooner, especially for those areas west of I-71 come Sunday afternoon. But if you're east of I-71, prepare for wet roads all day long, even when you have a brief break in the activity. But we will be looking at rain continuing into Sunday evening for those folks east of I-71. And then eventually Sunday night, drier air does work in. So let's go take a look at the long-range computer model. This will go beyond Sunday, going into early next week. And actually, before we do that, I do want to show you the forecast model data with rainfall totals. I slipped my mind. So let's do that real quick, and we'll talk about the rainfall totals here in just a second, which does look to increase a little bit compared to if you watched us last night, because this is going to bring us some heavy rain, potentially. So we go into Sunday, midday and afternoon. The heaviest of rain, as we've been saying the last couple of days, will be east of I-71. So generally speaking, kind of a blanket coverage between 1/2 inch and 1 inch of rain. Locally, we could see up to 1.5 inches of rain, especially for areas east of I-71 and near and south of the Ohio River. So if you live in Brooksville, Maysville, Vanceburg, over towards Bratton Township, down towards, say, Mount Olivet, Falmouth, Alexandria, Dry Ridge, Warsaw, Owenton, these areas here, I think, have the best potential to see close to 1.5 inches of rain. Even West Union and Mount Orab also included with that, even towards New Richmond and maybe Amelia. But everyone else, I would say, more on the line of 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain when it's all said and done. This has been fairly consistent in the model, so I do agree for the most part these numbers that are behind me. I'll put that up full screen for you, that way you can see it yourself here for just a moment before we do go back to that long-range computer model, and we'll take a look at next week's forecast and the changes that are to come for that. So this is, again, the rainfall amounts on the forecast model here. Generally speaking, 1.5 inches to 1 inch of rain, or excuse me, back that up. 1/2 inch of rain to 1 inch of rain, local amounts up to 1.5 inches of rainfall. So here's a look at that forecast model from the long-range perspective and a wider scope here. You'll see in a moment. The computer's running a little slow here this Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. And we'll talk about the forecast for next week here in a moment. It's been about 10 minutes since I hopped on here, roughly, and take a look at the Facebook comments or questions. And if we don't see any, we'll move on. But if not, I want to make sure I pay attention to those. Well, on the Fox 19 Facebook page, no comments or questions. So people are probably busy. Of course, the FC Cincinnati match happening right now. Let me see real quick. Got one comment on my Facebook page. Darla says, "Good evening, Ethan. Hope you had a great day. Not too bad. Kind of a lazy day for me. Didn't do a whole lot. But yeah, can't complain too much. But thank you, Darla, for commenting on our Facebook page. So this is the forecast model for kind of a long range, kind of a wider scope, because it does go out farther. Not as great of a resolution compared to the model I just showed you, but it's going to show the same thing overall. Rain coming in overnight, heaviest of rain Sunday morning, afternoon and evening, mainly east of I-71. We go into Monday. For Veterans Day, we're dry. Tuesday, we're also dry. Wednesday starts off dry, but then we go into Wednesday evening and Wednesday night. We are looking at the chances of rain increasing. And then rain on Thursday morning and Thursday early afternoon before drier air works in for Friday the 15th. And then going into the following, or into next weekend, that is, which will be the weekend before Thanksgiving, it does look dry with a lot of cloud cover going into Saturday night into Sunday. Now, I do want to show you the 14-day forecast. However, I have not updated it, and I don't want to share information that might be misleading or false. So I'm just going to show you the 7-day right now. And we will be recording a video for a First Alert forecast update. And in that video, I will show you the 14-day forecast, which does spell some cooler air going into the end of the following week. So we've got that for us. Unless there's some kind of major change, the data that I've seen does suggest that we are finally getting a little bit closer to normal with the temperatures just before the week of Thanksgiving. So we got this. This is our 7-day forecast. And as you can see, Sunday, a First Alert weather day. The timing of that rain is going to be after midnight tonight, lasting through Sunday midday, at least for majority of the Fox 19 Now viewing area. Sunday afternoon, still lingering for areas east of I-71. So if you're east of 71, so if you're in Hillsborough, if you're in West Union, Georgetown, Batavia, down to New Richmond, Maysville, Mays-Lick, Vanceburg, maybe you're down towards Ripley or Mount Orab, Peebles, down to Mount Olivet. Maybe you're in, say, Brooksville, Falmouth, Owenton. I've said a lot of locations. If you live near those locations, the hint is it's raining all day for you on Sunday. But if you're west of I-71, so if you're towards Brookville, Indiana, Laurel, Indiana, Connorsville, Liberty, Batesville, Greensburg, Versailles, those areas, I do believe you will be drying out Sunday mid-afternoon going into the evening hours. So we've got that, but it will be breezy, I think, for the remainder of the day on Sunday. Monday for Veterans Day, we are dry, so any kind of services going on for Veterans Day does look to be okay with regards to weather conditions. Sunny, high is 62 degrees, morning low of 48. Tuesday, again, I mentioned it towards the top of the video, I'm going to cool this down. It does look cooler because there is a kind of a shot of cool air that does move in on Tuesday. We'll keep it partly cloudy. Wednesday, an evening chance, but if you got outdoor plans, I think the majority of your day Wednesday is dry, kind of like today was. High of 67. Thursday, a morning chance, a high of 57. And then we're dry going into the end of the week into next weekend with highs a little bit cooler, upper 50s and low 60s, which is still well above normal for this time of the year. And again, I do want to show you the 14-day forecast. However, I just don't want to right now because I don't want to show you misleading information, because I do want to update it. I don't like showing old data. I want to show you fresh information. And again, I will do that in a recorded video you'll see on fox19.com/weather and the First Alert Weather app and the 24/7 weather streaming channel once I upload it, which that should be within the next hour. It should be. But something I will show you is the 14-day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, and I expect to see this to be above normal with the temperatures. We'll take that up full screen for you. And so you can see here that we do have a lot of red. So the likelihood of it being above normal is very high. So these colors, they can be a little misleading. When you see colors like this, you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be hot. No. What this means is the colors are probability. So the likelihood of it being above normal is very high. However, the temperatures will be generally in the upper 50s and low 60s through the next 2 weeks. There are exceptions to that. There will be a couple of days where we do get cooler. And I will say towards the end of the 14 days, so day 13, day 14. Let me go to my calendar real quick. So right around the 21st to 23rd, that's the weekend before Thanksgiving, I do see temperatures actually finally beginning to get closer to normal at that point. So this kind of gives you an overall trend of the following week. So from the 16th through the 22nd. And that is looking to be above normal. I do agree with that. When it comes to rainfall, above average. We got rain chances pretty much from the 17th, which is Sunday, not tomorrow, but the following Sunday. We have rain tomorrow too, but rain chances the following Sunday all the way through the majority of the following week. So we are looking at higher confidence of above average precipitation, rain. Just want to say that in case if somebody asks about snow. Don't see snow in the 7-day or the 14-day forecast for that matter. But yes, tomorrow is a First Alert weather day. And let's go ahead and show you that here. Morning to late afternoon, we're looking at anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain with local amounts up to 1.5 inches. Some ponding on the roadways, certainly a possibility with that, especially for the morning commute if you are traveling on Sunday morning. And so here's a bit more information. That background is very misleading. We're not looking at a lot of thunderstorms. Some thunder is possible. You'll probably hear it. It's what we call cloud-to-cloud lightning, or it's going to create that rumbles of thunder. But we're not looking at a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning in this scenario. It's just going to be rain that moves in tonight. It's going to be some breezy gusts up to 30 miles per hour, some moderate to heavy rain, and a half an inch to an inch of rain with local amounts up to an inch and a half of rainfall. And so the timing, we'll show you that forecast model here one more time, show you the 7-day forecast, and then we're going to wrap this up here. That way we can get ready for the 10 o'clock newscast. Although I do want to warn you, we're going to go on pretty late. Just found this out when I came in. We got a football game coming up after the Colorado and Texas Tech game. We have another football game after that. We're slated to go on between 11 and 11:30. So if you can stay awake, hope you can join us. But if not, I understand. But we do have the forecast video we'll update here in a little bit and put it on anywhere you can get the First Alert forecast. But I got to get ready at least to get that prepared and then get some other things prepared, because we do a lot here at Fox 19. We do more than just stand in front of a camera. But here is the First Alert forecast model here. So we go into tonight, and what you'll see here is showers developing close to midnight. We got more widespread stuff developing late tonight into your Sunday morning. Notice, this is just before sunrise. A lot of dark green, yellow, orange, red. So moderate to heavy downpours. We could be looking at some ponding roadways, and with the wind gusts maybe close to 20, 25 miles per hour, visibility might be reduced with spray up on the roadways. So if you are traveling on Sunday morning, I highly suggest give yourself some extra time and make sure it's dark enough at 5:30 in the morning, but even once the sun rises, I'd keep your headlights on in this kind of scenario here. So this is Sunday morning. You see 5:30 on this model. We go forward in time. Got some more moderate to heavy downpours lasting through the mid-morning hour. And then we go into the lunch hour. Still some moderate downpour showing up here on our forecast model. But do note, further north and west, the top left of the screen you go, a little drier. That's that dry air that's going to eventually push this out to the east and southeast. So I think around the lunch hour, we're still looking at widespread rain, though there could be some dry spots popping up over to our west and northwest. So if you're in Decatur County, Fayette County, Ripley County, Union County, you might be looking at maybe some drier opportunities around noon, 1 o'clock, but we will be looking at the majority of the tri-state looking rather wet. But we go into 2 o'clock. Again, the heaviest of activity looks to be east of I-71, as we've been saying, and the drier air working into the west of I-71. We'll play this out a little bit further, and you can see more rounds of rain for those folks east of 71 and drier air for west of I-71. And then we go into Sunday night. The cold front passes through, and then we head into our Monday for Veterans Day. It is dry. It is sunny as we go into the work week. So again, Veterans Day does look dry and sunny. So here's that final look of the 7-day forecast. We are talking about a First Alert weather day again for Sunday, with rainfall amounts anywhere between a half an inch and an inch of rain, locally up to an inch and a half of rainfall. And we go into Veterans Day, sunny, 62 for a high. Tuesday, partly cloudy and a high of 61, though I do think we'll be cooling down to, I think, only the upper 50s for Tuesday. Wednesday, an evening chance of rain. Thursday, morning chance of rain. And then we're looking at partly cloudy skies for your Friday and Saturday. High of Friday, 58. Saturday, 62 degrees. We'll take one last look at the Facebook comments, and we will be heading off, logging off here. Sorry, I just got a notification from FC Cincinnati. Penalty shootout. Looks like full time. It is tied still. Wow. It's a playoff. So hopefully I'm not familiar with MLS rules, so they should be, I imagine, doing more kicking, and hopefully winner is called. Darla asking about Thanksgiving. A little too early to talk about that right now, but as we get closer, we'll let you know. I will say that the next 2 weeks, temperatures look to be above normal, but by the end of the 14-day forecast, we do see signs of cooler air, though, around Thanksgiving. That could change. Don't want to give you an inaccurate answer. So I'd say right now, Darla, a little too early, but we'll monitor that and we'll let you know when we get closer. Karen says, hello, Ethan, sitting on the deck, and it's a nice evening. Thanks for the update. Absolutely. Susan said, started decorating for Christmas. Yeah, you got to get that Christmas cheer out because it's been so warm lately. So hopefully get into the Christmas spirit. Rachel, I just got on here. Why is tomorrow First Alert Weather Day? Well, Rachel, it's due to disruptive rain, moderate to heavy rain in the morning. Nothing looks severe. We're not looking at anything too impactful. It's just going to be the November range you typically see around here around this time of the year. And it's just going to be, again, moderate to heavy downpours, primarily in the morning. And so it's kind of an alert to let you know that, be careful on the roadways, that kind of thing. And there's going to be probably some spray up if you're traveling in the morning. So I would say give yourself some extra time, pack some patience if you're going to be traveling Sunday morning, but nothing severe. I can assure you that. It'll be a little breezy, though. We're looking at gusts on Sunday around 30 miles per hour. Susan asking, do you have any idea when this pattern looks to break? Specifically, which pattern are you referring to, Susan? Because the warming pattern is kind of fluctuating. So we do have a little bit cooler conditions for Tuesday, warming up Wednesday, cooling down briefly into Thursday, into Friday, but then warming back up going into next weekend. And the rain chances kind of fluctuate with that, with frontal systems moving through. I will say the following week, so Sunday, Monday, that week, looks to be wet. Every day has a chance of rain at that point. So when you're asking about it breaking, I don't know if you're referring to the temperatures or the rain, but we're going to be kind of stuck in the wet, dry for a couple days, wet, dry for a couple of days, probably through at least next weekend. Rachel is asking not just tomorrow, but anytime soon for severe weather. Right now, no. The SPC doesn't have any outlooks for us at all in the next week, and I concur with that. I don't see any indicator of strong or severe weather. In fact, it's kind of just mediocre at best if you want to see severe weather. I'm sure you don't want to see it, Rachel, but we're just looking at rain, some thunder moving in Wednesday night into Thursday. Aside from that, though, it does look dry predominantly for much of next week. Though this graphic, or though the 7-day forecast looks like there's rain both Wednesday and Thursday, it's just Wednesday evening through Thursday morning. So it's really just, imagine just one rain icon here. But no severe weather Sunday, no severe weather Wednesday night. So we're not looking at severe weather anytime soon, Rachel. Which is a positive. We're going to end this on a positive note. Anthony, I take the rain but keep the cold. Hope you had a great night. Oh, thank you. You as well. But we are getting closer to Thanksgiving, so temperatures are going to inevitably cool down. But we are looking at temperatures being above normal still, despite it cooling down slowly. It does look to be warmer than average. So we've got that going for us. And I believe we've answered all the questions and comments. So at this point, I'm going to have to log off and get ready for the newscast, which is, again, we're going on late tonight due to football. It's out of my control. But if you can join us. We'd really appreciate it. If not, I understand. But you can always get the Fox 19 First Alert forecast on fox19.com/weather and the Fox 19 First Alert Weather app and on the 24/7 weather streaming channel, available wherever you stream. Have a wonderful, safe, and dry Saturday evening, and be safe out there for Sunday morning with those wet conditions. Meteorologist Ashley Smith will have that update for you beginning at 7 a.m. on Fox 19. And, of course, her weather show, which, by the way, has a new time, 10:15. It's no longer 11 a.m. I'm going to move it back a little bit. So 10:15 in the mornings, Saturdays and Sundays, both. Ashley will be live for the weather show, kind of like this one. And it'll be available wherever you stream. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Have a safe and wonderful Saturday evening.